Hello and welcome. Good evening. I'm super happy to be with you and share some exciting features and ideas we are building in area of software testing using AI and building AI agents. Today we prepared a short workshop so you can experience and try to use and build your first AI agent for software testing. This will be short and hands-on, so I will try to be super quick and explain the idea and then how you could build your first AI testing agent. But let me start first with something what worry me, because when I'm talking to many people, testing is still stuck in 2015. And what I mean by that, when I ask people about testing, how they do that, I can find a lot of test automation engineers or test automation or people dealing with the test automation struggling with some flaky tests. I could see that a lot of scripts are written still manually and the tests are slow or slowing down our pipelines, especially when we are trying to achieve some continuous delivery approach. And I believe, and you probably will agree because you're joining this call, that AI might help to solve this. But I also heard a lot from my friends, testing friends, that sometimes it generates beep. I don't want to say the word. So not always we can achieve the results. And it's super important to understand how to apply the AI in software testing properly. So today, I would like to show you how this could be done. So this is what I would like to cover today. I will show you very quickly how the AI agent for software testing could be built, and you might build one with me if you follow me. You will have the hands-on experience. So then I will probably cover also the topic of how to scale or how to build that. We'll see how far we could go today. And then I would like to invite you to our bootcamp where we will go even deeper. And then I will give you some crazy discount for that bootcamp. So as I said, this will be super compact. And let's try to move on to the next one. So I believe, or my goal was that I will focus on those who are curious about AI in testing, who now maybe write or maintain automated tests and might struggle with that, and the people who want to save time and reduce some flakiness. And maybe you are just evaluating a new tools or new ideas so you can bring them into the team. And I believe there might be some ideas you might say, this is perfect, I will implement it myself. So what is the old way how we are doing a testing and where it failed? We run the test automation, but this is not really automation. We are writing the scripts manually. Okay, now with the coding assistants, we are speeding up these activities, but it's still pretty manual. It is assisted, AI assisted, but it's manual. And there is a lot of brittle selectors and a lot of other friction in the process. Maybe the new way might be that we generate the tests, then we are able to self-heal them and maybe somehow smartly prioritize them. So what is happening on the market these days, or how this is moving from that, let's call it old way to the new one? So in traditional worlds, we start often with manual testing, exploring the application, and later we decided, okay, we cannot keep up anymore with the pace. And all the annoying regression testing running manually every week or every second week was tedious and difficult to even mentally accept to be executed so often. So we start scripting and automating that, and later we start to orchestrate. We try to integrate it into our CI/CD pipelines. We have certain gates, quality gates, maybe you know this term also from tools like GitLab, where you have these stages you can build and so on. So this was kind of traditional world where the automation went to a certain scale and we were happy with that. Later, a lot of people start experimenting with AI. And I remember the times when we had this kind of machine learning approach, all these self-healing and Selenium tools or report portal were able to classify the failures or fix the locators. And some people love the idea, some people hate that. I often say the community was split into two groups and arguing heavily whether it's a good idea or not. And these days, what's happening is that from this machine learning AI world, we move to the Gen AI world. So a lot of new ideas came onto the table. And we also start discussing something what people say autonomous or agentic testing. And for that, we built some ideas into our tool. And I would like to share with you this as kind of inspiration, but also opportunity for you to start experiment with some AI or autonomous testing if you didn't start with that yet. So how it would work. So imagine that you have some simple UI where you provide what you want to test, and then you just press the button and test it. This could help you with many activities. So how we are thinking about the automation is that we are not automating only the app under the test, but we are also focusing on other testing activities or processes, if you wish. One of that type of activity might be test design. So creating the test cases might be pretty tedious work. And so, again, some people love it, some people hate it. But if you need to prepare the tests, maybe it would be a good idea to generate some drafts for you, either from the context you provide or you just prompt what you want. Then the automation is another part, which is these days, if you run it writing in a way that you write down the scripts, it's still kind of manual process, but we can turn this into also automatic approach using some Gen AI. I'll give you some examples and demo. And then you can execute that either from scripts or just by running the simple plain English and following the manual tests. And apart from that, we are trying to cover also some supporting activities, like providing the context and building that automatically, or setting up the pipelines automatically, or even the execute the tests, automated test. I'm not saying, actually, I will be talking about that later. What is difference between autonomous or agentic and automated? Because that's something what we are now discussing heavily in the industry and kind of arguing whether that's a good idea to have this agentic testing, which is not so predictable as automation or test automation. So this is pretty fresh topic on the market. So how this could work? So in order to be able to generate everything, or at least automate everything from beginning till end, what we built is simple tool. And this tool basically collects your screenshots based on some simple prompt. Then it generates context and tests, and then you can execute the tests and get the results. I'll give you very specific, or I'll give you the demos of this, and this won't be only demo, you will try it yourself. So what's now possible with Wopee.io, and you will be able to try today, we will generate the tests in seconds from the screenshots. I would say rather minutes than seconds. We could self-heal some logic and adapt to the UI, not only to the changes, but you don't need to even provide the locators in advance. And agents can now, these days, and not only our agents, but in general, testing agents can pick up the locators on the spot. Then you can easily integrate it with the CI/CD. I'll quickly show you how it works on our side. And then we will run some automated regression and progression testing. And you can even chat with your tests using some MCP connection, or you can give this access to your other coding agent. So for instance, if you have a Cloud Code, you can connect Cloud Code to the Wopee and run the tests together with your coding. So this is basically what now is possible with Wopee. I will partially cover this today, and for the rest I can't cover today within an hour. I will invite you to the base camp I am preparing. So let me now move on to the live demo. So as I said, the simplest way how you could start running your tests is just providing simple prompt and URL. For this, this is something important to share with you. If you want to follow the workshop, please try to use only the demo apps so you don't get lost, and these are free during the trial period. You will activate by starting using it. So let me now switch to my web page, and let's start creating first project. So how to do that? Actually, this is the page I was presenting on the screen. This is the light version. I prefer the dark one, and I fall in love with this dark one, so we changed that as a default. Let me know in comments what color you like more. But what you need to provide is URL and then this simple prompt. You can try some other demos, but as I said, please follow me with e-commerce, because then we make sure that you can follow the hands-on exercise, which will now which we will now start. So clicking onto the e-commerce, I'm not touching any buttons, only this yellow one. I'm clicking on test one, and then I am pressing GitHub. And because I have already the account, so it just open up and start creating the project for me. So it creates the project, start the agent, and create a GitHub repository. So, and now the agent following the instructions and collecting the screenshots. This takes a few minutes. It depends on the application complexity. We estimated something between 5 to 15 minutes. So I typically don't wait during these sessions, but because we are running this together, I will wait a bit, and then I will keep explaining the rest. So I will wait for you maybe 1 or 2 more minutes and explain what is happening now. So we create our user account, we activate our trial period for 14 days, and we create the project, GitHub repository, set up the pipeline, and spin up our first AI agent, which has the ability to open browser, navigate through the app, and validate some screenshots. And you can see here that once this started, it starts filling in the username and password, and then it logs in and it continues to checkout process. As I said, I want to wait for you, but if you are interested, I will share the recording of this later so you can replay it. And because I'm streaming on YouTube, you can easily pause it and then watch it later, or just basically skip some parts. But now we are collecting first context. So what is happening next, and I will not wait until this finish. So please let it run and follow me. I will explain the rest because I prepared my project where I can demo the rest. So once this finish, I can see the thank you for your order. And actually, this is what I ask agent to do for me. And I can open the report agent generate. And there I can see what happened, what steps were conducted, and what results I achieved. But basically, it's passed. So, and because this passed, the next step is that the agent generate application description. Imagine this as a business analyst driving or writing the documentation for you, which you can follow later, and based on that write the test cases. But instead of that, we let the agent work for us, and from this documentation we generate user stories. And you can see that some user stories or flows are suggested here, including some details. And based on that, what we are getting on the last screen is set of test cases. First, agent proposed some reusable blocks. So if you are from test automation world, you can imagine this as a kind of alternative to page objects. So you might get this as a reusable blocks. And then you have a set of test cases generated for you based on the first crawling, based on these inputs, which was collected, and based on the generated specification and user stories. So we are getting pretty nice, I don't know how many, maybe 20 tests, which could be executed. And I don't want to run them all, so I will select just one and show you how to execute it. So this test contains simply just login valid credentials and this details, nothing else. Of course, agent, apart from the description and title, it gets also the application context and all the details. So this is already tests ready to be executed. I don't need to touch it at all. If I'm happy with that, I can run the test. And I can generate the steps if I want, but in this case, I will not do that. And let me now run this one, login with invalid credentials. And for that, I will generate the steps. Okay, we have some limits here. I cannot run it so quickly. And the reason is that we are trying to avoid any double clicks or anything like bombarding the backend with too many requests. But what I would like to show you is that what is happening under the hood. So as I said, we have GitHub repository set up for us with all the test automation there. And I can see that I am running my first test here. So the CI/CD pipeline is set up for the test execution. And I can see that the agent already finished. And I don't go into more details. I will just quickly scroll through so you can see all the details what agent was running here. But some people don't want to go into the, like, I wouldn't say code because this is not even code, but they don't want to go into this level of detail. So if you want to just stay on the level of test, and when we open it, we can see entire test execution with everything what was conducted with all the details. Now let's run the second one and let's generate the steps. And for that, what will happen, we will get also the screenshots from the test execution so we can see what happened there. And this is actually login with invalid credentials. And again, the agent got very simple title and description. And let's see what will happen. And I will show you a few more features until we are waiting here. But before that, let me switch back to the screen to the PowerPoint. and maybe just quickly summarize what we did. So first we create a project from, I call it vibe testing, but we've got first 20 simple tests. What happened was that we were able to execute and see the results in GitHub, and you could see all the details in the commander, as we call the tool. And then we run the test based on that first crawling and test generator just by clicking to the play button or run button. And we didn't generate the test steps yet, but this is what is happening now. So I'll go back to the demo. So I'll show you what happened after clicking on this run button. And I hope you can still follow me. I'm trying to be like pretty detailed in explanation by purpose so you can follow what is happening on my screen. So let me see. Yeah, the test already finished, and this second one was executed with request to create the steps. So apart from the description and name of the test, we've got back some list of steps, and you can see that the first one was to navigate to the home page or the login form. Then we've got a step to fill the username, and then we've got the step to fill the password. And you can see that we are getting, along with the steps, also the screenshot, so I can see and have a complete traceability what is happening, including the last screenshot, which is failing. And I might see here, maybe this is kind of visual bug, which could be reported, but I could see everything here, what is happening. And I have the same report, and this is again passing because we are now testing with invalid credentials. What I'm getting as well is some kind of details. I don't know whether you noticed this small tiny text here. We have the value and we have the locator as well. So this is something what we could, or the agent was able from the first initial crawling to pick up and bring to this test detail. But I could do the same, or I can maybe say, I don't want to use this with the wrong password. I would like to do it with something else. And maybe the wrong password would be a bit different. Maybe I would, rather than wrong password, put their empty password. But let's do it differently. Let's cancel this and just duplicate the test. Duplicate. And then what I will do, I will modify the test in a way that this will be login with empty password. I'm lazy to fix this description, so I'll just remove it. So it's more relevant to be empty than with some irrelevant content. And then I will change this wrong into empty. And I don't want to even give an agent a locator. And this one will be removed as well. So this is the way, and I will save it now. So I have a new test with no coding or anything. And you can see here, and I can run it. It's ready. So this is the way how simple it is to bring a new test. And let me maybe just show you a few more. So I will create a new story here under the user, and I would say Slovak, because I'm from Slovakia, Slovak tests, login test, and then I'll put there here user story 7, and I will say create 3 nice tests with emojis. Actually, I was thinking about the Slovak, like in Slovak language, but I feel like you might not understand it. So maybe this is easier for us. And I will change this Slovak to login tests with emojis. Update, use the emojis in name and also in login name and also password. I don't know whether this will work. I never tried it. It's just I just made up the idea here. So now it's asked whether it can regenerate this user story. So if I would have some tests there, it will remove them and bring this new tests there. And it looks like we are running this login empty password, and we are okay. I didn't create. Okay, this looks like doesn't work. Nice test. Login emoji is in user name only. Okay, so it just creates this, and I don't like it because you can't see that. It would generate it on the fly, so I will rather use this. Use the emojis in the test name and test description. And let's regenerate that and see whether it would be better what I want to do. And basically, you see the idea. So I know what I want to test. Yes, I know what I want to test, and for that I am creating the test cases. And I'm not sure about the. Yeah, it looks like test description wasn't picked up. I might still have some issue there. I don't want to troubleshoot it now, but you can prompt what you want. It take this login test with emojis into the context and try to generate adequate tests. So this is how it works with the tests. You can keep adding more. Maybe I'll show you one more feature here. When you have a test with the steps, what you could do, you can basically create your test manually. Manually created test to login. And you can also modify the existing one by adding whatever tools you need. So you can do it manually, select country from whatever, XYZ, and so on. So you can create entire test manually, but this is not the point. We are trying to automate everything, including the test creation, and test automation is basically run automatically. So let me get back to the slides again, and then I will return back again to the demo. So what we covered was this generation of the test with steps. We also covered some reporting part. I didn't cover one more feature which is there, and this is generating the Playwright code. So if you want to run that, use non-LLM execution, it's easy. There is a code. We use it more these days as a cache rather than the proper test automation, but this is something what you could do there. Maybe I'll just quickly show you that one. So if this test is okay, this is the code which was generated for that. And this could be customized to follow your coding standard or whatever methodology you need to be followed. And then, so this is basically what you are getting from the test execution. And I covered this to create a test manually. You can do it in a way that you just type the test name and then all the steps could go to the description, or you can add the step by step using that the features below. So this is basically the test case creation, which could be done manually. And then I was also showing you some prompting, so you can easily create the tests. I prepared the slide for the Portuguese, and actually I tried the Portuguese in past. I never tried my native language, which is Slovak. So I was a bit worried to even try it, but it should work similarly. So I don't know whether you could follow me through these 6 exercises or 6 examples. But basically what we were able to do was from first prompt until the end, we were able to draft our first set of tests. And it took us 6, maybe 10 minutes. I don't know how much it typically takes to you to get this done. And even if you would tweak that, I believe in 30 minutes, maybe in 1 hour, you would get pretty decent smoke test suite, and you can run it. So from here, I think it's more about exploring and experimenting what's in there. And I would like to congrats if you are following me, because you already set up your first AI agent for testing from scratch in a few minutes. The agent understood the app behavior. It generated and executed the tests. And we were no scripting, and we didn't maintain. We can discuss the maintenance later, but the same approach would be applied for the maintenance. You can easily regenerate if you need whatever new tests to update the existing one or add some more tests. But I think this was just gentle touch of the topic, and I feel I cannot push more into 1 hour session, but this is good starting point, and you can experiment more with the trial. You have 14 days now, but I have something what might be interesting for you, and I'm doing it because we still build a lot of new features or shaping the existing ones, and this kind of more interactive way, not just 1 hour session, is super helpful for us. So what I would like to do now is that I would like to invite you to join our bootcamp, where you can build your own testing agent or AI testing framework on your own app. And even if you don't have your own app and you are just interested to experiment and learn something new, this might be an interesting opportunity for you. And this is simple, short, and dedicated and focused. I wouldn't say session. It's basically 2 weeks period, where you need to spend at least 2 or maybe 3 hours a week to go deeper. So if this is interesting for you, I would like to give you the opportunity or invite you to join us. And what is this 2 weeks dedicated for? Basically, there are 2 individual one-on-one mentoring sessions on AI testing in general with me. I will share with you what I know. I will share with you my experience. And then I will also deliver a few pre-recorded exercises so you can play with a lot of stuff we couldn't cover today. I will give you some just rough list of the ideas what I would like to share with you in the upcoming weeks or in these 2 dedicated weeks. You will set your AI testing for your own app, as I said. You will generate and run your first AI tests similar to those we just start today. You will learn and prototype with us. What I mean by us, it's me and some of my colleagues. It depends how deep you would be interested to go. Sometimes we involve our developers or product owners to discuss the details. If there is some spicy discussion, if I would say that in that. And you can prepare to build a lot of managers asking what is the return of investment or why we should even consider this. So sometimes you need to convince your boss. Sometimes I see a lot of other stories. The boss or the management is pushing everyone in a company. Even sometimes there is no reason to do that, to apply AI to everything. So you can basically understand and set up or shape the picture about what makes sense to invest in and maybe what's the waste of time. So this exercise might help you to get ready for the scaling or for the future, how or what would be or what should be the next steps. So this is it in terms of kind of highlights. I also prepared very rough list of the ideas. It's not complete, but basically these are the topics I would like to cover. But there are many more. I would like to show you how to deal with the Playwright code, which the platform generate, how to run the tests manually with partially covered that today. I would like to show you how to chat using Wopee.io MCP with your test. We could also cover, for those who are interested, and probably I will do it anyhow if you are, even if you are not interested, how you can bring Wopee as a testing agent to your coding agent, and how to build the skills so your Claude code can run and generate and interact with existing test set. Because when you run the coding agents, they often run some random tests, but sometimes you want to make sure that the critical flows always work, so you need to cover that, and Wopee could help with that, and plenty of others. So another view, I try to make it more, how to say it, clear or structured. So we cover the e-commerce app, not a banking app, but there is also demo for bank, and we could cover that during the other sessions. We will also cover more advanced approach where you don't let the agent generate the context, but you bring your own specification, because this is the typical scenario. We will also cover slightly how to use the Wopee for API testing, so you can generate your API testing, not only web UI testing, and run them. I will go deeper into the GitHub integration, so you can schedule the tests, you can get more details from the test execution. We will cover also some two-factor authentication, scheduling, visual testing, on-prem deployment, and switching between various LLMs or LLM models. So all these will be covered and delivered to you as a short pre-recorded videos during the 2 weeks. And if you want to follow that within 2 weeks and that's it, or you can just spread it over the more extended period, because it will be pre-recorded. But I will also dedicate certain time for those who are interested during these 2 weeks. So we will have a one-on-one session so we can discuss whatever you need. So this is what I can offer. And if you are interested to go into the deeper of this, I have I would say, special offer for you. In order to use our platform, you need to have paid plan. But the paid plan might be a bit pricey if you are especially if you are a hobby tester, or if you do this for yourself and you have no company support. And so we will, instead of 179, charge you only 19 euros, and you can keep the license for 3 months. So if you want to follow or through the videos in the extended period, it's 19 euros a month. Probably you might convince your colleagues, or not colleagues, but maybe your manager, and they will cover this. And I think there is no cheaper, basically, training, including the licenses, than this one. And also we typically deliver this bootcamp for our customers as a paid service. So this is another 350. So in total, it's pretty attractive. But if you decide after first month that you don't want to continue, you can basically cancel, and it's the minimum fee joining the bootcamp would be just 19 euros. It's on you whether you feel that there is some value for you. And in order to do that, you just use the Wopee-friends discount code, and then you can join us. What is important is that we are starting very soon. I think I have the date on the next slides, but let me maybe wrap up very quickly. So I was thinking, okay, but this might be a bit overhyped or exciting from my side. So I was thinking, okay, so what I should share also is that it's not like I see everything shining and working. There are some mistakes. One of the topic here is that some people expect that now with this approach you can replace entire existing testing, but it's not true. You can't. There is a lot of topics which cannot be so easily transferred to this autonomous testing. I would say yet, because I am super optimistic about the idea, but these days these agents are not so capable to cover everything. It can cover a lot, but not everything, so it's not full replacement. But it also gives us more time to focus on what is not possible with the tooling, and maybe what's more important to make sure that it works. It should stay in the hands of the humans, and we still need to somehow monitor these tools, these AI agents, to make it work. It takes also some time. So whatever you save, you probably might reinvest to test more quicker and set these tools properly into your workflow. Another kind of incorrect expectation or mistake is that you can generate a test from crawling, that you can generate quality and thorough tests just providing the URL and expecting that you will have a high quality test. This is not true. You need to bring your own context. You need to bring your own data, which need to be provided to the agent to generate quality tests. And then also this is needed for the test execution, because then the agent is more efficient. So the test might be more high level, but you need to bring that context then into the execution. And then another pretty, I would say, open question, and that's the topic of LLM, whether it's good only for authoring or maintenance, or it could be also used for the test execution. In my opinion, the test execution by LLM is getting better and better because we understand better how it works. We have some certain guardrails and some rules how to guide or basically drive the agent in a way that it is powerful, still powerful, but more predictable. So this is something what we will cover, and I'm inviting you to join the bootcamp for the further discussion. But in general, I think I hope you've got some ideas and inspiration, but if I could give you one advice, I would say don't wait. Start now with the AI testing. Even if you decide not to start with our bootcamp or try our tool, I think it's important to start experimenting with this, because this will then give you some better view, understanding, feel, and opinion about how this could help you. And I believe, and maybe you might challenge me in the comments, that AI gives your team some leverage. You might be better with the AI. Of course, you need to know how and when to apply it. And I don't pushing this because I believe it's perfect, but I believe it is good to give it a chance and experimenting with that. So I hope I gave you some inspiration. And if you want to join, this is the date. I forgot. So that the 9th of March is the starting date for our bootcamp, if you want to join us. And with that, I would like to thank you. So I hope you find some interesting ideas and you could build them yourself or just join us and experiment and learn with us. I'm happy to have you on that bootcamp and help you through this AI transformation and through this pretty turbulent world of innovation. Thank you very much.